Hello students. So let us continue with the next lecture of circuit analysis. So in the last lecture we have studied that how to deal with some of the commonly used circuit, like whenever there are two batteries are connected, or maybe more than two batteries are there and many number of resistances are there, and we are not able to determine properly that whether they are connected in series or in parallel. So in that case we employed a method that is called as nodal analysis, right? I also taught you that how to deal with what is the meaning of KCL and KVL, Kirchhoff's current law and voltage law, junction rule and loop rule. So let us continue with the same concept, and we'll do couple of questions that deals with that how to solve a mesh or a complex circuit. So today I'm going to teach you a new theorem that is called a superposition theorem, which is going to make your job very easy to deal with the circuit, or you can also employ it as an alternate method to solve the different myths. So let's start it with. So this principle is superposition principle. Using superposition principle, how can we how can we solve a circuit? So I'm taking a basic circuit as an example and we will understand it. Now it is given that this one is a source present over here, and you have to very carefully remember few of the things while solving the circuit. So this is 50 volt and we are having one more resistance in between here. This is 30 ohm and here we have 20 ohm. This is 20 volt. There are two methods to solve this circuit. Question is that find out the current that is passing through 30 ohm. Of course, we cannot say that whether these resistors are connected in series or parallel, these batteries are connected in series and parallel. So how to deal with this circuit? Let me choose one more color over here. Step 1. Step 1 is to keep one battery intact and the other battery has to be in short circuit, right? So I'm considering the 50 volt. Step 1 is considering 50 volt battery source. If I'll consider the 50 volt battery source, then 20 volt will become short circuit, as that means it will become a straight conducting wire. So I'm writing here it as 50 volt and this is 10 ohm. This one is 30 ohm and this is 20 ohm. So if we look at this circuit, we can clearly say that this one is replaced by a straight conducting wire. 30 and 20 are in parallel with each other. If they are in parallel with each other, so they will give you a resultant of 12 ohm. Now this 12 ohm and 10 ohm are in series with each other. So which one is going to give you R equivalent is equal to 22 ohm, that is 12 plus 10. 12 plus 10 ohm. Clear? Now, by using this, we can find out the total current supplied by the battery. Let it be I. Okay. Here I just want to make one thing very clear, that if we, in this circuit, the current that is passing through 30 ohm is, let it be I1, and through this one is I2, which one is going to be calculated by using current divider rule. So I is equal to 50 volt divided by 22 ohm. So 50 by 22 is coming out to be 2.272 ampere. But this is the total current. This is the total current, right? If this is the total current and I would like to find out the current that is passing through 30 ohm, is total current multiplied with 20 ohm divided by current divider rule. We have already studied. that if there are two resistors that are connected in parallel to each other, let it be 20 and 30, right? If I is the total amount of current and here it is I2 and here it is I1, then I1 is calculated as total current multiplied with the resistor that is connected in parallel with 30, that is 20, divided by 20 plus 30. Similarly, if I wish to find out I2, then it is going to be I into 30 divided by 20 plus 30. So similarly, here I am going to find it out I20 by 50. So I is 2.272 multiplied with 20 divided by 50 ampere. So I1 is coming out to be, so by calculating this, we got the value of I1 is 0.908 ampere. I'm going to keep it. Let's keep this. Let's keep this value, right? And now, second step is what? Second step is to considering the 20 volt and making the 50 volt battery source as a straight conducting wire or short circuit. So, and what is the direction of this I1? The direction of I1 is, I'm going to take the direction of I1 over here. It's in the downward direction, right? Direction is important. Okay. I'm erasing all these things and let's do the second step. So in this case, everything is also going to be changed once again. So in the second step, what we are going to do? We are going to consider the 50 volt and making the 20 volt. So 20 volt is going to be considered and 50 volt is going to be short circuited. That also I am doing. In step 2, the circuit will look like this: 10 ohm, 30 ohm, 20 ohm, and this one is also 20 volt. If I say that the total current in this case is I, so part of the current will also go to 30 ohm, that is let it be I2, and this is I1 dash and this is I2 dash, or let's make it as I1 dash and I2 dash, right? Here also the direction you can see it in the downward direction. Let me first find out what is the R equivalent in this case. So in this case, the R equivalent is 10 and 30. They are in parallel with each other. So I can write 10 is in parallel with 30. So 10 into 30 by 40. So that is 7.5 ohm. And 7.5 ohm is in series with 20. So R equivalent is coming out to be 27.5 ohm. It is coming out to be 27.5 ohm. So this gives us the total current of I that is equal to 20 by 27.5 ampere. 20 by 27.5, that is equal to 0.727 ampere. Let's find out the amount of current that is flowing in 30 ohm. So the current in 30 ohm is equal to 0.727 multiplied with 10 divided by 10 plus 30, that is 40. So if we'll solve it, we'll be getting the value of current as okay, anyways, we need to find out the total amount of current, and the total amount of current is, let me check it once again. Yeah, 0.727, right? So this is coming as 0.181 ampere. What is the direction? Now it is also in the downward direction. Have you remembered in from case 1, we got the value of I30 ohm as 0.908 ampere. and that was also in the downward direction. We have remembered that. From the previous case also, we got the value of the current that has been flowing through 30 ohm is in the downward direction is 0.908 ampere, and now it is 0.181 ampere. So what is the total current that is passing through it? So now the total current that passed through it is I1 plus I1 dash, right? This is the answer now. So 0.908 plus 0.181. So final answer is coming out to be, by adding both of that, 1.089 ampere. That is the answer. So is not it easy to solve it?